The field workspaces let you manage multiple packages or projects in a single repository using a single package.json at the root folder. Think of it like this. Instead of having 5 separate repos for related packages, you choose to manage them all in one place. What does that mean? That means that that's quite useful for monorepos or projects with shared internal libraries. That's what it means. And exactly this field is used in packages to indicate where those packages are located. If you want to find out more about this, you can navigate to this page. Workspaces is going to take you to that one page where you can find all the information you need to know about Workspace, how to handle it, how to include one package, how to run scripts for a single one, how to add dependencies, and so on. I'm going to try to explain this in the context of monorepo. Okay. I have this simple example. I went again with the classic greeter. So I already prepared the packages here. So under this folder called packages, I have both the regular greeter that's going to print out the same thing that we already know, right? And then also I tried to include, just to make it dynamic a little bit, I put some versions for language, right? This is not the best way to handle localizations or internationalization, but I just choose to include this just to show you how this works. And of course, I'm using the exports technique that we use in the past and so on. I'm going to walk you through each one of those files, and so you have a clear understanding of what's happening. So let's start with this first. So like I said here, I created a folder called packages, and the package.json at the root folder includes the following configuration. So this configuration you're looking at is basically a private package configuration, right? And the key thing here is that we are using workspaces, and says anything under packages will be considered a workspace to work with. And of course, because it's a single place to manage all the dependencies, they're going to be symlinked to every package that you have. So this means I can install everything that I need in here. That's going to be a common utility for those packages. That means, for example, in the case of Prettier, which is a way to format the code, so all the packages that I have under this package is, in this case, it's only two, CLI and core. I'm going to run this, for example, for all of them. And in the case of specific scripts, for example, the Yark parser that I have, this I already explained what it does. It's just a way to parse options, command line options. So I'm going to use this for the CLI piece. Okay, let's go about this. So first of all, here, this is the classic that I already talked about. And this package JSON, as you can see, I have certain scripts. I have a start scripts for both of them, for both the CLI and this and the core package. And additionally, in the CLI, I have a build one, whereas in this core, I do not have a build one. Okay, so this start is supposed to run and test the code, and this start version is supposed to run the CLI version of it, which is running this one to print out something. So in the case of Workspace, what you actually want to use this for is more or less to run stuff like testing scripts, automation, etc., but everything under one repository, right? Under the same folder. So here, one way to test this, first of all, I need to install all the dependencies. So when I install the dependencies, if you notice here, this will install all the dependencies. And the one thing that I want you to pay attention here is in the CLI depends on the core. Let me close this real quick and show you. Depends on the greeter core, which is the package that I'm using here as a dependency, right? So I'm saying this package will be required for the CLI to be able to work. So without further ado, notice that in here, this has been installed and symlinked a way that it could be referred to, but I don't have multiple node modules installed under this or in the core, under core by itself. So that is all the first thing you get out of workspace when you're working with workspaces. The other thing I can do, remember, I have scripts, and I have a start script for all the workspaces, so I can try to do something like that and try to run the start script for both of them. So here you would notice that this is running the CLI start script, and the way it works is just printing a Spanish version of Hello World, well, in this case, Hello John. And for the core project, I'm actually running a classic the function without any arguments, and therefore it's printing out the English version and using world because there is no name specified. So that's another thing. So if I try to format, I can run npm format, which is the normal for script. And what's happening here, it's gonna refer to this package.json that has the npm for the script format in here. If I try to run npm start, okay, what's gonna happen? Because the script is missing, it's gonna tell me that there is no start script defined, so therefore I cannot run it here. Therefore, the start scripts only exist under for the packages. And remember, under the CLI, I also have the script for build, whereas I do not have it for core. So if I want to run this, for example, in here, let me clear this for a quick second. I can try to do something like that. I can say run build for a specific workspace, which is actually the greeter, okay, of the CLI. So if I run this, you could see that this is running my script and making the file an executable file. Okay, this is more or less the context of using workspaces, and this is how you use it in npm. Now if you ask me the question, if you have to build multiple packages under workspaces, would you still use npm to do this? I would say, look, there are multiple tools available out there that makes those tasks super easy. They add automation, parallelism, and so on. And those tools are, you can try nx, you can try turbo repo, that's another one, and another classic one is lerna. So those tools, they exist to make your life super easy in terms of creating that monorepo. For example, I went and manually tried to create everything, create each file. But if you want to start super fast, you can use those tools and it will make your life easier. They really help when it comes to scaling a monorepo. So that's more or less the context of workspaces.